Hello guys, so let's write a basic token which we will issue to our investor or the funder in exchange of their money. So the idea is we will take the investment into the crowd sale application, and then immediately at the time of receiving the fund into the crowd sale application we will issue a crypto token. You can also call it a cryptocurrency or a virtual token. We'll use this token to track the investment, who has made how much of the investment. Suppose the device cost is, let's say, 5 ether, and somebody is investing 20 ether, then we know that that person will need 4 tokens, right? So in this lecture I'm going to show you how to write the tokens in the smart contract which we will use to issue it to the investors. So let's first create some data structure where we'll be keeping the track of the some information. First we'll create a mapping of the address and the currency amount. So currency amount is generally being stored in the int 256 variable or uint 256 variable, which is also known as unsigned integer of 256 bits. So let's create the type of the variable as public and call it a balance of. And then next let's create a variable which will hold the name of the currency. So let's call it the name, and let's call the another variable which will hold the currency symbol. Let's call it a symbol. Next let's create the another variable with the decimal point. So we want one variable, two decimal, three decimal. Let's call it again decimal. And next is we need to define an event which will specify, which will announce the transfer. So let's call it the transfer, and this will have the address as a variable which will be indexed variable, and the name of the variable will be from. It will this event will specify from which account the fund has been transferred to which account and how much, right? So u in 256 and the value. So this is the event. So we have now around 5 data structure. We have to define the state variables. We can also call it a state variables. So next is we need to specify the constructor. So to define the constructor you have to use the same name as the class or the contract, right? So let's consider the variables. So these are the variable which will be used to initialize the token. So let's make it like this: 256 initial supply, then we'll have the string token name, then we'll have the string the token symbol, and then uint 8 as decimal units, right? So also we need to put the initial supply into the variable state variable over here. So let's create the total supply as an initial variable or as the state variable public. Let's call it a total supply. This will track the total supply or the of the token, right? How many tokens are available. So here we need to initialize these variables into the state variable of the constructor of the contract. So let's put the balance of into the message senders account. So whoever will be sending the this message or executing this contract, the initial supply will be allocated to that person, right? So let's call it initial supply. So here simply the balance of the sender will become the initial supply, right? And also the total supply will keep the initial supply as a record. This much of the token has been available. Decimal variable will contain the decimal units variable, right? And then symbol will contain the token symbol, and then name will contain the token name. That's it. So this is how we initialize the smart contract. So our smart contract has been initialized and the state variable are being initialized during the constructor. Next is we need to have a simple function of transfer, right? So let's type the transfer function. This will transfer the amount of some amount of ethers, right, into the destination address. Let's call it the address underscore 2 comma while uint 256 will contain the value. So if you want to transfer some ethers into someone's account, you need to specify the recipient address and how much you want to transfer. Remember, the transfer will happen in form of the V, which is the minimal unit of the Ethereum. So simply before we execute the transfer, we need to test few things. So these tests would be mostly to check if the balance of the sender is actually enough to execute this transfer. To check this, we will check the balance of the message dot sender. So if message dot sender is actually less than the value, it means there is a problem. We need to execute the throw. So throw will actually create an exception here and revert the execution of the function till that point. So suppose if you have executed some transfers and other variable before the throw, and if you execute the throw, the moment it gets executed, all the lines above it will be reverted automatically. So since this is the first line, we don't have to worry about it. So this is first simply just to check whether the sender has the enough ether to send, or is the balance of the sender is enough to execute this transaction. Next is we need to check for the overflow. To check the overflow, the logic is simple. The If the recipient is actually after the transfer, right, having some values which is less than the previous balance, like this means that after adding the new received amount, the balance is lower than the previous one, it means this is the overflow, which it means it should not be allowed. So overflow can be considered like this. Let me just show you how this overthrow will look like. So it's logic is simple. Suppose if somebody has the let's say 253 ethers, and the ether amount of ether which is being stored is actually a 8-bit of size. Here it is not 8 bit, so I'm just taking a small example. So suppose it's a 8-bit size, then it's simple that 8-bit size of the variable can hold maximum of 255 in the integer value. So if the person already has this 253 and he has received the 10 ethers, then of course 253 plus 10 is equal to 263, which means it is more than 255. Then 263 will be reverted back to 0 as 254, and then it will increase from there. So 263 will be actually equal to how much? It will be 5 and 3 8. So this will equal to 8. So this is very simple, that 253 plus 8 is not equal to 263, but it's 8. So this clearly specify that the balance of the person plus the received amount is actually less than the previous balance, hence throw. Next, if it is a genuine transfer, then execute the transfer. So to execute the transfer, all you need to do is reduce the amount of ether from the sender, right? So you need to reduce the balance by executing this line by the sending amount, by the amount of ether which he is sending, right? Then balance of the recipient need to be increased. So this is definitely equal to underscore value, and then after that all you need to do is announce the transfer through the event. So message dot sender comma underscore 2 comma underscore value. This is simply to announce that sender has sent this many ether to this many to this address. So this completed the small transfer function.